Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bulletin Broadcast. I'm joined by Jared.
Oh no, I was so sure
I heard
you
it.
would put me
I
back.
heard it in your voice deciding which direction you were going to go.
I hadn't decided, and I was like, do you know what? No. He deserves some love.
I need some love. How's it going, guys?
Oh, he's got too much love. He's getting too
That's
happy.
twice, Greg. That's twice in what?
In 2
And on the
weeks.
on the trot, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, and on the 10th special.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah,
This is the 10th special.
And Greg's here as well.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that guy's here still.
That dude.
Right. That man, that human.
Yes. Oh dear. Right, okay. Well, let's jump into it. Let's talk about this little machine called the Retro Blocks. Is it a Kickstarter thing? Yeah, it's a Kickstarter thing, isn't it? Coming to Kickstarter in April. It's basically a machine that lets you play retro games. But the difference being that you have
PS1, NES, SNES.
you have to physically own them. So it's like Mega Drive or Genesis for Jared.
Yeah.
The NES, the SNES, the PS1, and it says as well as others.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I wonder what others is going to consist of.
Yeah,
because,
there has to be a Nintendo 64-bit though. There has to be.
I mean, they have.
The drive in this
see the
picture
little-
looks big enough for a Nintendo 64 cartridge.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was looking at the picture to see if a N64 game would even be able to fit in that.
But the
Hopefully there are some images on the screen for people watching the visual version of the
I'll put it in the video. Every time I watch the video back, I'm like, I should really fucking add images to what it is we're talking about.
And for the audio people, just picture a lovely box that has lots of disk drives and everything.
Yeah, it has a
Honestly,
disk
out
drive.
of all of them that are out, this is the most appealing looking out of like the other
it looks the
retro
nicest, yeah.
consoles that they have. Yeah, it definitely looks the nicest.
The only thing that's going to annoy people is that you have to physically own the games and you can't use ROMs that you download.
Correct.
Which I prefer personally because it kind of...
I do too. I like the having the actual physical copies of these games, as
Isn't
well,
there-
especially like the older retro games.
There's no digital storefront or anything like that. It's
No.
all physical.
So you literally...
Yeah.
What you do is, like, say you want to play Tekken 3. You put Tekken 3 in. You can burn a copy of the ISO onto the hard drive that's in there. You can put it on an SD card. And then you won't have to put the disc back in. You can boot it from there using the file that you save.
That's quite cool.
Now, I'm wondering how much like memory this is going to have, or how much storage space.
Well, it's talking about SD cards. I don't know what the max it can take is, but I'm assuming however big of an SD card you can fit in it, really.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, ISOs are tiny. You're talking kilobytes, so even like an 8 gig SD is more than enough.
That'd be fine, exactly.
More than like an 8 gig SD in this console would be like having a 4 terabyte in a PS4.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of storage space, kids.
It is a
That's
lot,
a lot of retro.
and it
It's
works.
too much, if anything.
Too much.
Yeah, it seems so. You get it starts at £279 or $300 for my American cousin, and
I wouldn't go as far to say I consider Jared a cousin.
Yeah, I would.
Wow, thanks, Greg. I feel
Acquaintance is maybe a bit far too.
No, show him some love, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'd go as far to say
Say what, Greg?
Nemesis.
Oh,
Okay. That's better.
yeah.
I'll take it.
It's better. What were you thinking I was going to go as
At
low
least,
as
at least
say?
there's recognition.
My mind went completely racist, so let's just skip over that. So
See, luckily I have no concept of race.
you just
See-
see him in.
I had Dan write this piece because I know Dan is very big on retro gaming, and I know he enjoys collecting retro stuff. So I was like, of all the people who are writing on this day, Dan's probably the one who's going to enjoy learning about this the most. And do you know, if this takes off, this could be really good for retro gaming. Because like, there's a market that's just opened up in London. And there's another one in Birmingham that specialise in people being able to sell and trade their old retro games.
Really?
Yes. What's it fucking called? I can't remember. I got a press release about it, and it's completely skipped my mind when I needed it not to. It's always the way, isn't it? But yeah, it's actually a retro specific market where if you don't want a SNES game or whatever, you can take the cartridge down and people will pay you for it, and then they'll sell it on to people who want that SNES game.
That's really cool.
Out here in the States, GameStop kind of started doing that as well. They started to accept older retro games, I think, all the older ones, and then sell them back as well too.
I just kind of think that people are going to start wanting retro stuff more, because I think people are getting a bit fed up of what's coming out in the modern gaming. There's not as much to sort of please the palate as there used to be.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm increasingly developing something that I'm trying to stifle, a collector instinct and wanting to buy games that just because I want to own them and, you know, play them at some point. I'm getting that spirit in me. And the idea of having this console and playing... I mean, I don't even know if I've got the port in the back of my TV to make a PS1 play anymore.
Yeah.
So the idea... I assume this will be HD enabled.
I'd imagine so.
So the idea of having... And also I like the idea of this being compatible with all of these older games as well. I could just buy one of these, it would play all of my PS1 games, and I've got like fucking 50 of them, and I could buy all these NES games just because I want to try them. They're like games that people talk about. They're like historic games and things. And it would be just like that. I could just play them. And that's like a really, really cool concept. Yet another thing that we're talking about on the broadcast, which if I had the money, I'd love to get.
Recurring event of Greg not having money.
I think this is all just so you can torture me, Ben. This thing.
That's exactly what it was. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. So I was just looking on the website, actually, and looking for the specs. The micro USB will support up to 512 gigabytes.
Oh.
Which is ridiculous.
Nice.
It uses Linux, which makes sense because that's like the most easily customizable operating system, really.
Oh, yes, I know all about that.
One wireless Bluetooth gamepad. So if you're buying this on Kickstarter, you only get the one gamepad. You'll have to buy your second one separately. HDMI, which is what you guys were asking about. Mm-hmm. And then I was just reading this old Nintendo chestnut. Allow me to quote this. Okay. Some people have asked about Nintendo 64 support. Nintendo 64 is technically very doable today on RetroBlocks, but Nintendo filed many patents for that system, some as recently as 2001, so it's something we're not targeting at the moment unless Nintendo were to provide us with the permission to do so.
Which is not going to happen.
No.
So does this mean that Nintendo provided them with the permission to do the older games?
They must have.
Unless the patents for them have just run out, or like maybe just due to sheer age. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it's more likely that just the patents ran out for them than... Because they're saying that patents were still going for the Nintendo 64 games. That's why it's unlikely that they'll be able to have some on there.
Yeah, I mean, what? Can I sell games digitally on RetroBlocks? Yes. If you're a developer or publisher of games for retro systems that wants to publish the titles you legally own the rights to, we're going to offer you a simple solution to do so. However, you have to follow technical and legal requirements.
Well, I was looking at, there's a screenshot on the amazing Games Bulletin website. I took your little thing there, Greg.
No, absolutely. I think everyone should talk about it that way.
And it shows like the Altered Beast, the game and everything. And then it says play, manage, rate, and then shop. Is shop going to be like where you would buy these games, or?
It says here, basically that if you own the rights to a retro game, then you can sell it. Yeah.
Interesting. So there will be kind of a
like a download system,
kind of thing. Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Wait, so own the rights actually as in owning the old retro games, or a game that's designed recently in the style of a retro game?
That's what I was thinking.
It says here, this is the direct quote, if you're a developer or publisher of games for retro systems that wants to publish the titles that you legally own the rights to on retro blocks, we're going to offer you a simple solution to do so. However, every game submission will need to follow the same technical and legal requirements technical and legal requirements standards that are in place for major game consoles and will be thoroughly vetted and tested prior to publishing, same as Nintendo or Sony would do.
Interesting.
I'm still unclear about that though. Does that
Yeah,
mean
it
that
seems
as an
very, like, I don't really know.
does that mean that I'm an indie dev developing in a retro art style that I can sell my game, or
Or does it
Jared,
mean
when
that
you
I'm
said, interesting, but you actually didn't understand any of that, were you hoping Ben would go on to elaborate what he actually just said?
No, I mean, I got some of it there, you know, but...
Were you just, like, filling the void for Ben? Just like, oh god, I hope he doesn't notice I didn't follow any of that.
I had to make sure I was following along, that it seemed like that was happening.
You just want to seem like the clever one.
yeah?
No, not me. I'm not clever at all.
Well, I mean, not all of us could study canoeology.
Yeah, exactly. It's a rough field. It's actually a very competitive field as well. You had to have the quirkiness for it.
Is it a personality driven as well?
It is. It really
Wow.
is.
That's great.
It's a cool idea, and if it takes off, like I said, it will bring some life into the retro system. But I still don't understand that whole shop mechanic they have going on.
Yeah, no, that's kind of confusing. So what's actually considered retro from them? Because you said it has like the PS1, the SNES, and all that.
Hang on
well
1
as
second.
others.
I can get you a list.
Oh, a list.
1 second. Fill the void.
Oh, so
interesting.
fill in the void. So, Jared.
It's cool.
So
Have it.
This hasn't been funded yet.
No,
They're
no,
just
this is-
about to. They're building hype right now to launch it on Kickstarter. That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So-
This is gonna get funded so fucking quickly.
Well,
Oh,
I don't
again.
know. It depends. Because you have have 3 tiers that you can buy in the Kickstarter. You can buy the base unit, a controller, and 1 element module. Or a base unit, a controller, and 3 element modules, or a base unit, a controller, and 5 element modules. Now, if my maths is correct,
Which I'm sure it is.
there are 5 modules available. So it seems like you would go, okay, well, so for instance, the modules are NES, SNES, Genesis, Atari 2600, and PC Engine, which is like TurboGrafx 16. I don't know what that is.
I think there's going to be one tech-savvy listener at home that's just nodding their head like, yeah, brilliant, I love everything I'm hearing.
So
Turbo engine? Yeah, I love that. I want a turbo engine in my computer. I've got 6.
it's...
I got 6.
It seems like if you pay for the tier where you get free, you could go, cool, I want NES, SNES, Genesis. Or you could be like, I
so you
just
can kind of
want SNES
decide what
games.
games you actually want on there.
Yeah, and then via the CD DVD drive, there are more to be announced. You can get PS1 all regions, Sega CD, and like any Super CD-ROM that goes into a PC. So there's a wide array, but no Nintendo 64.
Sadly, but no surprises.
Yeah, I mean Nintendo are notoriously stingy. So I tell you,
Notoriously tight-assed, Ben. is what
they content ID matched one of my videos back when I was doing this, not as a podcast, when I was doing this as a daily video on YouTube, which absolutely drained me as a one-man team, I have to say.
Oh, yeah.
But now you have us, Ben.
I have you guys now, but they content ID'd one of my videos because I used 15 seconds of a Pokemon Amiga Ruby trailer.
Yeah, see, they don't
That's
deal
only
with that
Nintendo.
shit.
Yeah,
they don't like it.
I went to my MCN and I was like, look, this is my video. I understand fair usage. I fall under fair usage. And they were like, yes, you do. We're going to chase this up with Nintendo. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I was getting emails like, no, we're not chasing this up with Nintendo. Please don't touch Nintendo. Don't message them.
Nintendo came over to them and was like, hey, you better not do anything.
No, but I don't know, like, somebody at the office of my MCN was like, yes, do it. You're in the legal right. And then everybody else was like, this dude, he doesn't know it's Nintendo. Because Nintendo
He's
will
a
just
new guy in the office.
Dude, they won't give a shit. You'll go to, like, appeal a content match and they'll strike your channel. Like, they won't give a fuck.
It's actually something I covered back when I was blogging on my own blog before Games Bulletin was in my life. And the article was called More Like Nintendo, as in The Simpsons Dough.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. And this was all when the Nintendo Content ID storm was kind of brand new. And I called them out because basically what they're doing is smothering their own advertising. Because let's be honest, Let's Plays are basically free advertising.
I thought this was an unspoken mutual relationship between Let's Players and publishers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's symbiotic because the Let's Players, they literally have nothing to do if they can't play games. That's the whole fucking thing. And publishers, they sell loads of their games on hype on the quality of their own games in a YouTube video.
Well, dude, I mean, look at, like, Undertale wouldn't have won Indie Game of the Year if it didn't have the support of Let's Players.
Exactly.
Subnautica wouldn't be as big as it is, Ark, if they didn't have Let's Players.
Did you ever see any adverts from Minecraft before the game actually came out fully?
Nope.
No, of course you fucking didn't. It got by on hype. It got by on YouTube. It got by on people. That's how it works now. If your games are good, they will reach people. People will do the legwork for you. But if you're Nintendo and you're a fucking idiot, you don't understand that.
Shots fired.
Wow. Greg's views are his own.
He's not associated with Games Bulletin at all.
It's very true, and if anyone comes at me, I'll refer them to my old article. Does that blog even exist anymore? I haven't looked at it in years. I stopped doing it because I got like 10 views an article, which was extremely demoralising. And also, for some reason, I decided to mix politics and gaming, which...
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Yeah, it occurs to me now that that was not a good mix for one thing. But I didn't think about it at the time.
I mean, I have to agree. I'm personally not a fan of Nintendo's crackdown on Let's Play content and people using their stuff.
Yeah, you would think they would take advantage of the free advertisement and not really care, but
yeah, I don't know. They're funny old people.
I mean, they've definitely been
fucking idiots, Ben.
I wouldn't say loosening their grip, but they've been expanding out of just like, these are my games. I don't want anybody else to touch them.
But the thing is, they're not though. They're like, you can make games for our consoles, but only we can advertise them.
That's true.
Anywho. Let's talk about a game that none of us know anything about.
That sounds great.
What are you talking about, Ben? We all know exactly everything about Final Fantasy.
We played hours of this
15.
together. Don't you remember?
We
all play it together.
Whenever I talk to anybody about the fact that I run a video games website, they're like, "Oh my god, you must play so many games." It's like, no, I'm actually so busy like writing and sleeping that I don't actually get to play anything. However, I know Dan from the website played this and he loved it.
A lot of people loved it. They like adored this game. I mean, it was pushed for the longest time.
Final Fantasy 15, a decade in development or some shit, wasn't it?
Those swords.
I mean, it was called something completely different before when it was first announced. It was like 13 verses or 14 verses or something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, you're gonna get to make your own character and take it into the game's multiplayer, which is cool. From all
accounts. Is it sad that I didn't know this game had multiplayer?
I didn't know it had multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's going to be Final Fantasy fans like, oh no, there's no represent on the podcast.
Blasphemy. Burn Games Bulletin to the ground.
I played like old Final Fantasy, does that count?
No? It counts for something considering I haven't played any, so you're a resident FF fan.
I've heard lots of people say 7 is very good. Does that count as me
7.
playing it?
Yeah,
I played like the old Game Boy Advance Final Fantasies.
I talked to some people and they're like, don't listen to those fake fans. Like 8's where it's really at.
So, you see people all over the place with their different numbers and
it's just numerology, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't they have like weren't Final Fantasy doing like Final Fantasy 13 Part 2, Final Fantasy 13 Part 3 and
Dude,
stuff?
like fucking.
Yeah,
Kingdom
it was
Hearts
13 and
2.
there's 13.2.
Isn't Kingdom Hearts like 2.3, 2.5, 2.8 or some shit?
Yeah, but those are a mixture of all the games that were on various consoles as well too. Put into on PS4 and I think it just came out on PS4 on PS3 as well.
Cash grab.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's so hard to follow like the continuality there. Like that's really how do they expect to bring in new fans? I was genuinely I was interested in Final Fantasy I don't know why I'm saying like that. Final Fantasy at one point. But I realized it was so complicated and they're up to 15 already. How do I even jump in? When was
it's the
the
same
first
with like Kingdom
actually-
Hearts too. Kingdom Hearts is the same thing.
Yeah, I actually got told by somebody that you can play 15 without having played a prior Final Fantasy before.
I heard that as well too.
But if you wanted to do like 13 and a half, you had to have played 13, obviously.
13, yeah.
So
Oh, I lied. I did play Final Fantasy 13.
if there's
There you go.
if there's a decimal, play the number that come before the decimal. Is the lesson?
Why is that a rule? That's so dumb that has to be necessary. You
Look,
have to
damn
have
it,
a
they're
handbook
bringing
to work out how to play a game.
They're bringing custom characters to multiplayer, which is apparently a thing, and it may come to single player.
Yeah, that was the news.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
not coming
that's
to the
cool.
Switch. Sorry for those of you waiting for that, but it's not coming to the Switch.
I didn't think so.
Oh,
but
at the moment. But overall,
I'm
there
pretty
is...
sure they'll get some Final Fantasy game on the Switch. Maybe not 15, but something.
Maybe. I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't.
No, exactly.
Okay.
But
Moving on.
My girlfriend just threw a slipper at me and told me to stop shouting.
Oh, this is nothing. You should hear him when he gets really fired up.
yeah, we got to be.
Yeah. Okay. Microsoft. Is what Greg,
Microsoft.
It's what Greg called a couple of weeks back. I believe it was a week or two ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple
Live
of
it up,
weeks
Greg.
ago. They were all like, "Oh, we're probably like." Phil Spencer was like, "We're not going to be showing Xbox. We'll probably not be showing Xbox One Scorpio at E3." Like he didn't know what he was going to do. And then you two, you're all naysayers. You're like, "Oh no, it's not going to happen. Oh no, what is Xbox?" It is also sad.
Oh, here
And
we
in
go.
this wonderful article from GameSpot, which is slightly different to Games Bulletin, in that it's not as good, lol. They basically are talking about how the Xbox Scorpio is going to be shown off at E3, which is what I defied the naysayers and stuck up for my own beliefs, like Rosa Parks. This is what I said. I stuck up for what I thought
Did you
was
just
right.
actually compare yourself to a fucking
Continue
like...
with the talking. I'm gonna continue with the talking. But I said this. This is what I said. This is my survival story. This
I
is
don't
what
remember.
I said.
I remember saying that if they were going to show it anywhere, it had to be E3 because it was the biggest show of the year.
Yeah, I remember Ben saying that as well too.
I think you told me to sit at the back of the bus. I think that's what you said.
Anyway, it's going to be there. Putting Rosa
that's
Parks
the
to one
story here.
side.
It's alright, Jared laughed, it's okay.
The old black friend argument, yeah.
That has
I'm
nothing to do
here-
with Jared's. That was an American friend, actually.
Oh.
He is an American.
I can go under both categories, so you're
Yeah,
just good
yeah.
either way, Greg.
That's alright, I'm covered.
So
Covered on all fronts.
I'm insured.
it's this thing that worries me. Where does it worry me? I don't know. Maybe about Phil Spencer saying that it's not going to be an FPS Halo or a Gears of War year.
I mean, it's kind of like you worry and you don't. I mean, it's like what else
Yeah.
is there going to be? I mean, they might have
I mean, the
other
fact
IPs hidden somewhere.
the fact that State of Decay 2 is the only game confirmed at the E3 briefing is
Did you play the first State of Decay?
I played it a little bit. The guy that
play
shoots
it.
Let Plays with Reese, he's addicted to the game. He loves it. So, and before we talk anymore, those of you interested, Xbox will be on Sunday, 11th of June at 2 p.m. PT or 5 p.m. ET.
What day?
11th of June.
Sunday.
Ooh, that's
Sunday.
I'm not going to remember that right now. You'll need to remember me. Remind me later.
Apparently,
Ben.
this is this is some kind of blasphemy because apparently Xbox normally do this on the Monday of E3.
Oh.
I know, blasphemy. Maybe it's to do with the fact that members of the public can now attend E3 and they're hoping that not many people will be there Sunday.
Ah, they don't
I was
want
going
to
to get into that, saying that the E3 is open to the public this year.
You should go, Jared. You should be our reporter.
You should be our man
I
on the
would
front
love to
lines,
go.
man. I mean, I can't give you the
or
expense
time.
money. But
We could see you work a camera.
yeah.
I can
With
work a
little
camera.
interview. Yeah? Well, I can
That's
see this picture of you holding a girl. I think you're really working the camera here. That's your Skype profile picture.
You can see me right there working the camera.
Yeah, you are. You're really working the camera.
Okay,
Anyway,
what's the next?
Let's continue.
So, this article here, this is what I don't understand. It says here, you can definitely expect news about Project Scorpio, as the tweet that announced the details today used an image of the system that was first shared at E3 2016. The fact that they're using a picture of the Scorpio doesn't mean you can expect... you expect news, yeah, but like, what does that actually have to do with anything?
No, it doesn't.
And these people do this for a living, and we're just here like,
Hey,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
how do you guys feel about the Scorpio?
I'm still thinking I'm interested in it, and if it's a reasonable price, and if it's gonna do enough, then I would probably get it. But
I think reasonable price is out the window. I feel like it's gonna be expensive.
It can be expensive, but reasonable.
I guess that's fair.
It's all gonna come down to the hardware, really, and you know, if it's a case of if I spend £300 more, I can get a top of the range gaming PC. Then I'll get a top of the range gaming PC.
Exactly.
The reason I buy consoles is because it's cheaper than a PC and it's easier to use, and it's just, you know, plug and play. You just turn it on, off you go.
I just want to see what else this console does besides
if it's
run
just
extremely
4K.
better than the other
Yeah,
ones.
if it's just 4K, then I'm going to be a bit disappointed.
Yeah, because I mean, they haven't really said anything. Obviously, they've only showed that it's going to be significantly.
Well, I mean,
run better than the...
I would like to see potentially some HoloLens shit going on with the Scorpio. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool if they show off that at E3 and
See,
it kind of working with the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, seeing as it like runs Windows 10, I don't know if it's even capable to run it on the Scorpio.
Yeah. Didn't they show off the HoloLens at E3 last year?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and that was running on the Windows 10 PC. They did the HoloLens Minecraft. That was cool.
Yeah. That was super cool.
What? Wait, so I never really understood what HoloLens was. I was reading about it somewhere.
Basically, instead of VR, it's AR. It's augmented reality. So when they were playing the Minecraft, it brought the Minecraft world to life on the top of the table. And so it was like the whole world was on the top of this table, and this guy was wearing this headset that let him see what exactly the world, but with this like world on top of the table. And if he stretched his fingers, he could zoom into certain parts of the Minecraft world, and he could see the characters in the game running around in real time.
So he couldn't play, but he could see other people playing.
Yes, if memory serves me.
Well, and like if you, with like the PlayStation VR, they have, I think it's like an art game or whatever, where you can kind of draw in like the air and everything. You can move pictures around. It's kind of like if that was just your living room, and instead of seeing like a screen, it would just be your home, and then you could move stuff. And like how they did, they brought the Minecraft on the table up and everything.
Yeah, I just kind of, I mean, it's cool, but the one thing that there has to be is there has to be VR support.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the HoloLens is they didn't use a controller either. It was just kind of like your hand. You would like pinch stuff and you would move things around with your fingers and stuff like that.
As Greg was saying, it's not actually playing a game.
Yeah.
But I don't actually see that AR technology. I mean, I'm obviously going to be wrong because I'm always like, you know, this is I barely know anything about the tech, but I don't really see how AR is going to have a ton of impact on gaming. I feel like that's got more applications in loads of other theatres of entertainment and things.
But
I was.
Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry. No, go.
I was watching a guy using one as well too, and that's what he was kind of using it for, was for business. He had like all his business stuff everywhere, and then for like entertainment, he had like the entire wall was a movie screen and stuff like that as well. And then he had like his document on the side that he was working on and other things like that. It was more for business than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose you could use it for like game selection as like a dashboard, but then there wouldn't be much use for it after that.
Yeah.
But really, the console has to have some form of VR support.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, I've just got a feeling that they're just gonna get left behind Xbox.
I was under the impression the point of the Xbox One Scorpio was that it would be powerful enough that you could choose between a couple of VR devices like on the PC. I might be wrong there.
Well, I don't know. I get confused because Oculus, didn't they have a partnership with Oculus, don't they? To supply the controllers for the Oculus.
Yeah, because you can use the controllers are compatible with it.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's kind of like hey, we make controllers for you. We're going to make our console Oculus ready. Can we, make it so that Oculus is available on Xbox One? The Vive, potentially, because it's a Windows 10 system, I suppose there is potential for the drivers to be installed for the Vive. I'm not sure how it works.
The Vive is the really high-end one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the £800 one, yeah. I suppose, technically. I don't know how much of the Windows 10 system is kept on the Xbox One in terms of drivers and driver modification and shit like that. Because
even if the Xbox is like supports all these VR headsets, the problem with the VR headsets will still stand. Like, you'll still need a significant amount of space to play these.
That was what's cool about the PSVR is that you only needed 6 foot.
Yeah. Exactly.
You only needed 6 foot to be able to play it. The Vive needs an entire room. And
isn't that the one with like the cameras that you set up?
Yeah, you have 4 cameras, one in each corner, and then you can set up additional after that. The Oculus doesn't actually need that much room; only needs a couple of foot.
Now, is it the Vive or the Oculus that has the big cords that come in the back? I think that's the Vive.
That's the Vive, yeah.
That's the Vive, yeah.
The Oculus doesn't actually need that much room. It has a sensor that you put wherever you're playing it. So it has like this weird tower-looking thing that's actually a sensor for your movement, so it can track your head movement and stuff. But it doesn't actually need that much room. When we were showing it off when I worked at a game store, the people were standing maybe 4 foot away from it and using the Oculus for that. So the Oculus seems like the logical choice for like VR support.
Yeah.
But
or the most accessible, at least.
Yeah, it has to. It can't not. At that price, it just can't not.
Yeah,
did I really make a Rosa Parks joke earlier?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
It wasn't really a joke. It was more saying like, "Hey, I'm the Rosa Parks of this generation," kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of tried to martyr yourself. It was a bit weird.
In a way, I suppose I am. In a
Oh,
way,
there
we
you
all are. I'm spreading it quickly because I'm doing it again.
Nice save?
I can't help but go for it, can I?
No.
No.
You're very all in or not in at all.
Yeah, that's a problem I have. I think.
Oh dear. Okay.
Let's talk about the Division movie.
Ooh, good job, Greg.
Oh yeah, we've got to talk Division. I skipped the Division.
Yeah, well, we all wish we could.
They're making a movie, in case you didn't catch what Greg said.
In case you couldn't sift through this hefty Queen's English accent.
Can we just why is this even a thing?
I don't know.
Ubisoft, man. That's why.
Yeah, because they're stupid, and they thought, wow, we've made a brilliant game that everybody loved, and it's certainly developed a cult following, and indeed a mainstream following. There's going to be people who will definitely go and watch our film.
Yeah, see, I never, I played The Division, and I enjoyed the time I played it, but I never was like, you know what? If this was a movie, wallet would be empty. Never thought that.
But the thing is, the plot is quite generic, isn't it? Like, I could see why they made the Assassin's Creed movie, because that's quite a unique plot, and it works in a movie.
Yeah, the whole idea of the Animus and stuff has not really been done, but agents after the event get stranded, have to help civilization rebuild, save humanity.
Yeah. Apocalypse in New York is not a new concept.
No.
I don't.
Oh, it is actually New York. I thought you were just taking the piss.
No, it's in New York. It's in New York. That's it. It's that generic.
No, yeah, it is in New York, so there's that for you too.
Are tasked with restoring order to the city.
I feel like this plot it's already 8 movies already.
This is interesting, because is it going to follow the game's plot, or is it going to change away from it?
I don't know. I mean, I guess.
Or are they going to write a completely new plot to be interesting?
And just have it have nothing to do with the Division? Just slap the title on there?
I'm firing a lot of shots at the Division, but I never actually played the game, so...
As long as...
It's actually fun. I enjoyed it.
As long as the agents are from the Division, they can technically slap the name on it. Regardless of the context of the story.
They're just trying to milk the video game movie adaptations that have been halfway decent the past couple years or so.
Yeah, dude, make a fucking Stick of Truth movie. Make a South Park movie. Why are you making The Division? Make a For Honor movie. I would watch that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, they have lots of options. I don't know why they decided
Actually, to be fair, this is kind of bad, because I feel like we are 3 people who are not fans of The Division. So when they say, they're making a Division movie, I mean, I know you kind of liked it, yeah. But if somebody's like a die-hard Division fan, they're going to be all up for this.
If someone said, hey, they're making a Zelda movie, I'd watch it, hands down, in a second.
I don't know, I've not encountered many die-hard Division fans in
I know one or two.
Fair.
I know one or two.
Do you?
Yeah, I know some people who still play it quite religiously.
Yeah, you should interview them and ask if they're interested in a movie, and then next week you can tell them why they're not interested.
I feel like I should have them sent to make sure their heads are okay or something.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, to each
I'm
his
going to put
own,
a cap on that thought.
Okay, Pokemon Go. This was actually Jared's piece. This was the piece that we found to bulk up the podcast, because it's been such a slow week.
Yeah, Jared.
Pokemon Go is finally getting its 2nd gen.
Yeah,
80 new Pokemon are supposed to be coming to Pokemon Go.
Not the baby Pokemon either, which is cool.
Exactly.
But I think Jared ended it on the perfect cliffhanger when he was pitching this idea for this article to be included, and he was kind of explained everything about what's happening, and they're adding 80 new Pokemon. It's going to be from Silver and Gold. You got the free starters, new accessories. You can dress your character in a new way, new berries to help you get amount of candy. And then Jared was just like, but is it too late?
But that's the question, is it? I mean, they've had little updates here and there, which have been pretty cool. They did the Halloween thing, and they did the baby Pokemon and stuff, but I mean, is it too late? I mean, there's still a good amount of people that do play Pokemon Go. But for the rest of us, is it too late?
Is it too late? Pokemon Go is a live experience which we will be continuing to support and evolve in new and interesting ways for years to come, with new gameplay features, in-game and live events, more Pokemon to discover, and much more.
Much more.
Whether you like it or not, it's here to stay. And
yeah, it's not going anywhere.
I didn't think
it was, because it's Pokemon Go. So, and they saw how much crazy hype and how many people, even people that didn't know what Pokemon were, playing this game. So they're like, this is not going anywhere.
Yeah, it was super popular. I remember when it first came out, people that don't play any video games were like, oh no, I got Pokemon Go. Loads of people were super up for it.
And that's something that I was thinking about when they announced 2nd gen, and I was like, how far are they going to go until people are like, I don't know what these Pokemon are. But then again, when they came out initially, people had no idea what Pokemon were, and they were still playing it.
I mean, have they fixed the 3-step glitch? Have they still got rid of the nearby, or is that fixed?
I think that's fixed. I think now when you look for a Pokemon, it shows an
didn't they do
location.
a sight? They did a sightings thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. I mean,
I haven't played in
I wanted to jump on board with it. I tried. I just couldn't get behind it.
I played it for. It was good. It was like a family thing for me. Like we went out and went on walks, and I just opened my Pokemon Go and catch some Pokemon as I'm going on a walk.
Chloe is like the sport. She's like the editor, like patching me in through the headset. She's saying that Pokemon Go is apparently still popular with the mainstream, and she is down with the kids, so she knows what the mainstream is.
Interesting. No, it's still fairly popular and makes a ton of money, but
yeah, well, yeah. If it didn't, it wouldn't be around.
No, exactly.
She's just sent me another message saying she's not down with the kids. But you do work at a school, so you're very down with the kids, actually. Yeah, so you can't even deny that.
Yeah. We'll have to have her on as like a current affairs editor or some shit.
Yeah,
there you go.
Be our current affairs editor, Chloe.
Yeah.
Pardon?
They really love Suicide Squad, so they probably do still love Pokemon Go.
Okay, let's not talk about Suicide Squad.
We kind of have a thing going here, Chloe.
She can't hear you guys.
Good.
They're saying that you're amazing.
That's a lie.
It's not a lie. Let's continue the podcast.
Yeah. So Pokemon Go shit.
Wow. Okay.
Pokemon Go.
Segues, I guess.
In my personal opinion.
In his personal opinion.
No, I couldn't get behind it. I would much rather sit indoors and play it on my DS.
Yeah. I liked it. I like Pokemon Go, but I don't know if the second. I was super pumped about second gen as well too coming out, but I feel like it's, like I said before, I feel like it's a little late.
But don't you have to? Aren't there certain requirements to get Gen 2?
Is there? That's even more of a reason why I probably won't play it.
I thought that you had to have X amount of Pokemon before you could see the Gen 2 Pokemon. I remember hearing that some time ago.
Interesting.
That
Yeah,
seems
I have no
dumb
idea.
if that's the case. I don't think that article's the article we've looked at is actually talking about that though.
How to catch Gen 2
So
Pokemon.
maybe that was like a rumor or.
I think that might have been a thing before Gen 2 was announced, like people trying to get other people like, hey, look, this is how you can get second gen Pokemon. You have to collect all the original ones first or something like that.
Yeah, like how I was convinced by some guy in like primary school that if you get a Ditto to level 100, it becomes Mega Ditto and it can permanently transform into any Pokemon. And I thought, wow, I could get a Mew, and I trained a Ditto to level 100 for literally no end.
That must have been an interesting process, getting a Ditto to 100.
Yeah, it took a long time, and I was not happy when it got there.
No, I mean
Ditto?
How long did it take for the novelty of Pokemon Go to wear off, Jared? Has it worn off? Yeah.
I think it has. It has worn off for me. As to like how long, I mean, I probably played it for a good solid month or two, maybe.
Wow.
Probably about a month of solid. Hey, I'm on a walk. I'm gonna go catch Pokemon and stuff. And on my campus, there's tons of Pokestops, so I always had it out as well there. But I think the novelty's definitely worn out for me. Even with the introduction of second gen, I don't think it's enough to. I mean, I haven't played it in a long time, so.
I feel like if they brought in the trading and the battling player v player stuff, I could maybe get back on board with it.
Yeah. Plus, Nintendo has lots of other mobile games that I'm playing as well too. So.
Oh yeah, they are loving the old mobile games at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, the Fire Emblem one's really fun if you haven't played that.
There you go.
Nintendo are really on point with this stuff at the moment, aren't they?
They are a little bit.
I mean, they have the Mario Run. They just released one
Chloe
called Pokemon Duel.
Does Chloe work for Nintendo? Is she teaching them how to be down with the kids? Is that what it is?
I don't think so. I feel like she would tell me if she was.
Maybe she's got a double life, man.
Or maybe it's a conspiracy, man.
Yeah.
She might have a double life. She's looking at me like a dog does when it's like curious about what's going on.
Yeah,
Ow,
you're
she
onto
threw
something.
another slip up.
Yeah.
Stop
Don't
throwing
question it
things.
anymore, man. I need you around. Don't be dying.
She might kill me.
Mysteriously disappearing.
She's shaking her head. Let's continue.
Okay, well, last story. Halo
Yes, you
Wars
can
2.
have that.
343 have apparently actually listened to fan feedback from the beta and have made a bunch of changes.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
There's a big list on the Games Bulletin website. Lovely Games Bulletin website.
I mean, do be careful what you read, because the first one that caught my eye was that the cloud fluffiness has been boosted.
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean?
The cloud. Wait, hold on. Can you say that one more time?
It's
The
Matt.
Cloud.
It's Matt that wrote this article, and
Yeah, he's got quite a flair, doesn't he, that Matt? I
Yes.
feel like he might be editorializing a bit in here.
bigger, shinier helmets for the bro dudes.
Like, yeah, I saw that one too.
Shiny helmets for the protein.
I have to admit, I love Matt's style of writing. I think it's
Yeah, I
brilliant.
do.
I remember when he wrote
a
a thing about the Xbox One S when it was announced, and how it could be stored vertically compared to the Xbox One that couldn't, and a comment underneath it just said "Suck it, Xbox." But
was a comment from Matt.
yeah.
Wow,
Yes,
that's brilliant.
okay.
So yeah, a bunch of changes. What we got? Reduce the locust DPS health. So apparently locust are easier to kill. Were the locust overpowered? Did you play the beta, Greg?
I played the original beta, but they decided to have another fucking 5 betas because they're
I know, I
clearly
saw that. I thought it was
desperately
weird.
trying
It
to
kept seeing
generate
ads
hype.
on it.
Yeah,
Please like our game.
I actually, they're really going in for the advertising campaign for this game, haven't they? I'm seeing it on like Facebook. They're just like they've got this booth that they're putting people on like a London high street in, like telling them that they're the commander and like they have
Yes,
to role play and
weird.
everything.
Well, I saw a commercial too where it was like one of the locust and the generals. He was trying to sell him a car and something like that as well too. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I saw this.
Are you serious?
No, yeah. I was like, interesting.
They're kind of interesting. They're a bit cringy in a way. Although I can't bring myself to cringe because I kind of find it brave that they're trying.
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, some of this stuff, when you read between Matt's satirical comments, you have like improved game performance, UI responsiveness been increased, voice chat's been improved PC performance, improved multiplayer reliability. So
More realistic roast pork smells on space barbecue.
yeah, I mean, he has a flair. He definitely has a flair,
He does have a flair.
and he's
No, I
listening to
love
this,
it.
so he's gonna know that you're talking about him, guys.
Yeah,
No,
he's
it's a
loving
good thing.
it.
I love it. That's hilarious.
He's getting an ego stroke too. I did see an advert on something I was reading yesterday. It was, I can't even remember what the fucking website was. It was something that didn't have anything to do with gaming. And on the side of it, it said, how likely are you to get Halo Wars 2 on Xbox One? And there was like, definitely, or probably, or possibly, or definitely not. And I voted for the top one because, you know, I've already pre-ordered it. And it showed me all the readouts, and it said 84.9% are never getting it. And I was part of like the 3% that are definitely getting it.
I'm definitely in the not gonna get it
Yeah, I'm sorry,
category.
man.
I think most
Sorry.
people are. Well, no, you don't need to apologise to me. I didn't make the bloody game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and it's like, what are Blizz cards? What are Blitz cards?
It's so from how I understand it, the way part of their strategy to crowbar microtransactions into it is well, no, I say that cynically. It also might be just to generally improve the gameplay. Part of their plan, their ploy, is that you can have a couple of blitz cards which you take with you into each game, I understand, and they're sort of like abilities that you can employ. I think it's a similar system to Gears 4, where you can have certain cards, certainly in the Horde mode, which is all I play on Gears 4, which give you certain perks and abilities. It's sort of like a perk system, but you can earn improvements on it, and you can buy new ones and that sort of stuff.
Okay, because it says here that like if you basically if you played Halo Wars 1, then you know you get shit because of that. If you if you got the play in the field achievement and adjudicate the arbiter achievement, then you'll get some blitz packs, Greg.
Ugh, I probably will get those. I got most Halo Wars achievements.
However,
I was
annoyingly,
very into that.
there are apparently a confirmation that there's no map making tools. Is that a big part of Halo Wars?
Not at all. It's a big part
Excellent.
of the Halo shooters, as in FPSs.
Yeah,
like
but not necessarily
it's
the
basically, yeah. But Halo Wars, that was never a part of it. I mean, there certainly was a problem, I think, in Halo Wars 1 with not enough maps. Hopefully they will try to not make that a problem this time around. But the thing is, they're marketing Halo Wars 2, a strategy game on Xbox One, a console which is populated mostly by people who don't give a shit about strategy, I assume. I think most of those people probably migrated over to PC between the 360 and Xbox One generation change.
Maybe that's why it's
tried
Play
Halo
Anywhere.
Wars. I tried it, and I think it's because I was just really, really bad at it. That's probably why. I didn't know what I was doing, really. And I just kept losing, so I was like, I'm out of here.
Strategies often have quite the difficulty curve that is quite punishing without help. Ozzy, the guy I do Brits and Suits with, he really hated Halo Wars when he first played it, but he only got to like it because I was there to handhold him in like a series we did where we did the whole co-op campaign, and he really liked it. At the end, it's actually a really good game, and it does play well, but it's a difficulty curve that most Xbox gamers are not going to want to scale because most of them don't really give a shit about strategy.
Pretty much. And that's what I was saying, is like, I think that's why it's a Play Anywhere thing. Is because, most strategy game players play on PC just because strategy games are better to play on PC. There's more that you can do control wise.
PC too.
Exactly. And so maybe that's why there was a train of thought and I've lost it.
Halo Wars 2's longevity is going to be in its multiplayer, and with Halo Wars 1, after a year, it stagnated to having about 1,000 people on every day, and Halo Wars 2 needs to do better than that, and it's going to struggle because there are less people on the Xbox One than there were on the 360. So I guess if they're going to do cross-platform play, that would be a very obvious solution to that problem. I mean, obviously we bring up all the problems that we discussed last week to do with parity between controller and keyboard and mouse and things. But I don't know, it might be the only thing they can do to save it.
From what I've seen, Windows are really trying to push their Windows 10 marketplace, because the Windows 10 marketplace really isn't performing that well. From I mean, I don't have any statistics, but from general hearsay of what I've heard,
anecdotal evidence, the most reputable of all.
Oh yes, the best. But from what I've heard, is not performing well. And I don't know if that's in comparison to Steam or just in comparison to what Microsoft were expecting. But people just don't seem to trust it as much as they trust Steam.
Yeah.
Steam has such a reputation, and now they have a refund policy where as long as you haven't played for 4 hours, you can refund the game. There's not really much to lose from buying from Steam.
People on PC only, and people who are very happy with Steam, are going to have very little reason to go to Windows 10. The reason why Steam won so many people over was because they were crazy cheap and had all of these wonderful offers that developed this whole sense of loyalty for the brand, whereas Windows 10, Xbox platform, whatever they're calling it on the PC, that needs to do something similar, something that people really like to win people over and generate interest. And until they do that, the numbers just aren't going to go there, because people ultimately go where their friends are, and if all of their friends are still on Steam, then they're not going to bother.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that's what it boils down to. I don't know. I wish Microsoft luck, but I don't. Oh shit! I don't see anybody dethroning Steam anytime soon.
I wish.
Yeah,
Microsoft,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'd say their best chance to stimulate it is to make as many things as possible cross-platform play, because it's literally the only bridge between people who stuck with Xbox One and got an Xbox One and people who just went to PC and didn't bother with an Xbox One. I've got lots of friends like that who I would love to still play with, and I've got friends who I actually played the original Halo Wars 1 with who are now only on PC, and I got an Xbox One. The only bridge available to us is this, and I think it's a very good idea if they play that up, and I don't know if they're going to.
They definitely need to if they're going to want get anywhere close to the traffic that Steam has as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to get to Steam level. I don't think they really genuinely believe they could get there without some very, very huge plays that would really, really shake up everything.
Crossplay will definitely benefit it. I mean,
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's not a huge play. They need to do something
true.
crazy to like twist the arms of Steam
Yeah.
and start to rattle their monopoly.
What they need is that one big game that's Play Anywhere. That one big game that is like, okay, cool. So you can play it on your Xbox, you can take it to work, or play it on your laptop at work, and then come back and continue. And I know they're doing that, and I know you can do that with Gears and that kind of stuff, but they need that one massive game that's really going to push the Play Anywhere feature. And I think until that happens, I don't think people are really going to use Windows 10 Store, like the Microsoft Store, whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
I don't think they're going to use it much until Microsoft give them a reason to, really. And I think that's what it boils down to.
And Gears is a big game, so it's going to have to be something that's bigger than
Scalebound.
that as well.
Scalebound Play Anywhere would have been awesome.
Pouring salt in the wounds.
Hey, look,
Or
Matt's
Scalebound.
put bro dudes and space barbecue in the tags
As he
for the
really
article.
Matt, you sneaky bastard.
You cheeky guy.
Okay.
We should definitely get him on the podcast one of these
Yeah,
weeks.
he's
Yeah.
begged and pleaded me not to cancel this until he's on it. So I might have to have a word with him and see when he can get on.
Are we in danger of being cancelled?
No. I mean, I don't really have much else to do on a Wednesday night, so... You guys are
Until
cool
you
for
get
now.
I guess that's good.
Alright.
No, he seems to
safe
drum
for
in
now.
enough support.
Yeah, it does. I know some people that actually do find it interesting, so that's
Yeah,
something.
same here actually.
Well, we'll get there. Once we get to the point where we actually know what we're talking about, and we don't plan the articles out 20 minutes before we start the podcast. We'll
3 out of the 6 articles we haven't played the games at all, so that's
What? Yeah, okay.
I
Alright.
think when we get to a point where we can start bringing other staff members onto the podcast, if we're talking about a story that's of their expertise, when we
Yeah.
have that sort of stuff going on, then the podcast will increase in.
Yeah, I mean, I can find some. I mean, I'm going to EGX in March, so indie devs are normally cool people. They're normally quite friendly. I could probably have a chat with a couple of them and see if they're up for talking a bit about like the indie world. Maybe talk about Steam Greenlight or some shit and how that benefits / doesn't benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know there are some horror stories on Greenlight and there are some absolutely amazing stories. So we could always do a little bit like that. I'll find something. When I go to EGX, I'll find something. I'll talk to a bunch of people. Hands out some business cards and shit.
There you go.
How exciting for the audience, and also Greg and Jared.
Yeah. So let's on the 10th anniversary of Games Bulletin broadcast, let's wrap this up properly, shall we? So Greg, where can people find you?
Where can they find me, Greg? They can find me, Greg, at Brits and Zoots, the YouTube channel, which is a Let's Play channel I do with my good friend Ozzy, who listens to this, actually. So, hello, Ozzy.
Hey, man.
Hello. What else do I do? When Halo Wars 2 comes out, I don't know where I'm going to do it or how I'm going to do it, but I want to do something covering its release in some way. I'm really up for that. So you'll probably see something of that sort on Games Bulletin's site and possibly on Brits and Suits. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I've got anything else cooking. Jared?
Where can
I got
people
nothing
find
exciting
you?
going on, but you can always just follow me on Twitter, MossJared. I post semi-interesting things. Not really, but you know.
Semi interesting things.
Semi potato. Same thing.
Anyway, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. We'll be back again next week with another one. The intro and outro probably won't be as good as this one, but we'll be back nonetheless.
Nah, we're only going to get more and more professional every week.
Oh yeah,
We're getting there, just slowly but surely.
we're not getting any more professional. We're just getting shadier. There's just more shade being thrown every week.
I think we're getting more casual and more relaxed around each other, and the banter's flowing a
I
lot
think so.
more naturally.
Yeah, have fun with that, Matt, when you come into this environment.
Speaking of those adverts, I'm scrolling down my Facebook right now and I literally see something sponsored from Xbox UK. I can't hear any of the words because I'm not going to put the audio on, but it's Atriox, the Brute Chieftain, and Captain Cutter sitting in an airplane, and there seems to be...
I saw that one today, actually.
Yeah, there seems to be delightful problems ensuing because he's taking up all of Captain Cutter's arm room in the airplane. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, cool.
That's good. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ben.
You spoke words to me and I didn't understand them.
They're not great words.
My chair needs to be quiet. Okay, well, we will see you next week, people.
All right. Bye.
Later.